All right, welcome back to the Hold Down Podcast. This is going to be a recap with your main man, the Unstoppable Bloodbath. No Quan this week. So, this is going to be the recap for UM5. UM5 literally just ended like 10 minutes ago before I came down here to record. Quan was busy. He ain't able to be on this episode. But that's all right. At least you got me, so you're going to get something. With it just being me, that means it's going to be clear and concise. I don't do none of the fluff. I'm not no marshmallow man. Okay. I get in, I get out, I do what I gotta do. First and foremost, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know how y'all do if you look. This gonna be the one. I know a lot of y'all gonna flood this video because it's UM. UM always is what people want to talk about. So anyway, make sure to like the video, tell two friends. So also, comment down below what you felt was the best battle of round one. So all we can talk about right now is round one. That's all we've seen. Now, the event. UN5. Honestly, I really wasn't feeling this one. This is the least hype I've been for any of the UMs. Because it's felt thrown together. This felt like an afterthought. Because all the other ones, there was hype behind it. It was either new people, like it was newcomers. Then they had the last one for the 100,000, which was like, all right, it was mainly big faces because it was for more money. I get it. This one, I can't tell what direction they wanted to go because they got real established names versus people who are really getting their footing in URL. And it was just the matches were all over the place. And I think somebody said they picked names out of a hat. If that's true, then it makes more sense. But still, why are Gichi and Romney even in it? Honestly, because Gichi's won the last one. And then I just feel like if you're gonna bring back prior winners, you need to have more winners because all the winners came back except for Holmesy. Holmesy wasn't there. Okay, Holmesy declined. Cool, but you got real name Brandon. He won the last one, and it's like I don't know. It just felt weird. That like a lot of the people who did really good before are back already. But they should have did like one or two more Ultimate Madnesses with newer names to help them get really established, and then they could bring in a mixture of all the winners, right? Like I feel like that makes more sense, but I'm not over it. Maybe if I was over it, it would have been together better because this whole event just felt thrown together. It was sloppily done. It was just a whatever ass event. That's not including the battles. Some of the battles were really really good. We're gonna talk about it, but just my opinions on the event. This is the least hype I've been for any of the UMs personally. Like, personally. Outside of that, there was Atlanta again, which no, I didn't go. The yesterday that was out here, and it's in the 90s all weekend, so I wasn't surprised. I was supposed to start at 3, didn't start till 5:30. They said that the power went out, so I had to get a new generator because they said the heat was messing with their generators or whatever. It's not surprising, but it was unfortunate. Then the stream was a little laggy for me, so I was having stream issues, especially with the last battle of day one. That was annoying. I did appreciate though that they wanted to split it up over 2 days. I thought that was a good idea. I thought having 8 battles on one day would have been too much. The 4 and 4 on paper was a good idea for me. I'm cool with events and beginning and ending in a reasonable time. That made sense to me. It just fell apart when you only got to have 3 battles on day one because your stream went down for like an hour because the power went out again. So it was just like a lot of technical issues on day one. They got it together for day two though, because I was like, day one is usually the hardest day. After that, you figure out the kinks, you can get things popping the next go around. So day two, they didn't start on time for that either, because I was like the studio. It was supposed to at 3. We ended you do it live every Sunday or dead at hip hop at 2 o'clock, so that didn't end till 3. So I wasn't even home. So I figured, damn, I'm gonna probably miss something in my on my way home. But I get home just in time for the first battle to end. So they started late again on day two, which I should have known that was gonna happen. But I tried to get it the benefit of the doubt. I really, really did. I was like, nah, they ain't gonna do this twice. Come on, nah. They said so they got everything figured out after day one. They're gonna do it again, late again. Anyway, it was more of a benefit to me personally. It helped me not miss too much. So that's really my overall about the event. Other than that, I think it was fine. I guess I'm more excited now after actually watching some battles. I'm kind of more into it, but it still feels thrown together. Like That's gonna be my biggest complaint of this whole UM. UM5 is just why. This is UMY right now, in my opinion. But now we're gonna talk about battles. First battle was this first battle of day one was None versus Sheed Happens. Also, wait a minute, I gotta talk about this. Having a crowd is a stupid ass idea for this event, personally. There's no reason you should have a tournament with a crowd because the crowd throws off the rappers' pacing for their timing of their rounds because they got 2 minute and 30-second rounds. And if you wrote it and you timed it yourself and it was 2:30, but now you're getting called for time because the crowd is slowing you down, you got to pause your reactions and stuff like you're getting hyped, you got to calm yourself down. So like your time flies with the crowd. So I don't think that's really fair to the rappers, and it's harder for the judges sometimes. I feel like, in my opinion, because if I'm judging some judges, I'm not one of these people. They might be more biased off reactions and everything. So it can sway a vote. But being that two of the judges were in the building and two of the judges were at home, I did appreciate that at least. Is that if you're gonna have a crowd, I do appreciate having some at home judges because they always say it's different in the room. They always say that. So I feel like that was the only compromise that made sense to me. And I get why they always got to shuffle out judges because people are going to complain no matter who's judging it. We've seen that already. So it don't matter if it's a battle rapper they like or a person in the media they like. They're going to complain regardless. So it's more so on if you want to be a judge, do you have thick skin? Because people are going to complain about what you say no matter who you are or why you said what you said. So yeah, I feel like that's my opinion on the judging. I just think the crowd is a bad idea. This is supposed to be like a small room, bars only type of event, and now it then turned into everything else. Like it don't feel special no more. It just don't feel special. But that I think that's all I had to say about the event overall. Now we can talk about the battles. So, like I said, first battle, None versus Sheed Happens. None, great battle rapper. I've been a fan of him since the last time I saw him in because UM was at one. Yeah, UM one. That was when I was like, all right, you know what? This dude's nice. So Sheet Happens, somebody we saw in last UM, and he was one of my favorites because his style was just so different. I really liked his unique style. Like he brought something different that I still feel like people ain't doing. So I really like his style. None of that has more of a traditional style, but all right, so I'm gonna go through it. This was like the most controversial battle of day one. The internet is saying that None won. I am also one of them people who feel that None won, but I can see the people leaning towards Sheed. Now, a lot of battle rappers like on Twitter and stuff is all like, all the people with the good pens can clearly see that Sheed won. Y'all don't want to see something different. I said all of that the first time I saw him. I felt like the first time I saw Sheed, yo, this is really different. I appreciate it. I still appreciate it. I still think his style is so dope, and I would love to see him battle some more. I do not believe he won that battle though. I just don't like. I just don't like, in my opinion, because also, so I gave round one. I feel like I gave round one to Sheed. Round two, I gave to None. I did. Plus, in my opinion, if you have a rebuttal, that's bonus points for you because that means you're thinking on the spot and you're doing more. In my opinion, if you have rebuttals, None had a rebuttal in the second, and then in the third, he did okay. Her third wasn't his best, but he did okay in the third. She's third was pretty good. But my thing with his third was he was trying to start too many different crowd chants. In my opinion, like he was trying to get he was forcing crowd participation a little bit. In my opinion, he tried to start the underdog thing, trying to get the crowd to respond back to that. He was doing like call and response type bars, and then the you don't like the app. He was trying to get that call and response going. How you start two different chants in one round? You're forcing it, but the vote was 3-1 for Sheed. Sheed won that one. I got it. None of also won the popular vote, which I mean that doesn't really matter because all the judges deliberated and came back on Sheed winning. But I felt that None was the winner, but it doesn't matter what I feel. I'm not a judge. So that was the first battle, easily the most controversial if they won. Probably the whole event. Like people was tweeting at Calico and everything, like all of Twitter is mad over that one battle. So, next battle, Shoony the Rapper versus Head Ice. If you watched this show before, you know I had no faith in Head Ice. And he actually won. So this was the battle. This was the battle where the power went out, like right in the middle of the battle. So Shoony came out. Shoony started off so good. Like I just knew in my heart of hearts she was gonna murder this nigga. She started off good, then she started stumbling, and she stumbled her way through. And sadly, like his was crazy. She was stumbling through the round, and like the bars that she was able to get out were still good bars. So like you could tell, oh, she had some shit, but she just lost it. She stumbled, and she ended up she lost it because she was trying to get it back, but it just didn't happen. She had to end it. Ice came out, had a pretty good round. Like his round one was not that bad. I can't complain. I think it was a decent round. Don't remember none of his lines, but I'm telling you, it was not that bad. And this is coming from a person who's not even an Head Ice fan. It was not that bad. I was like, okay, this is decent. He doing something here. And then, so the power went out and everything. Cool. They came back. Shoony, second round was her best round. Everybody agreed it was the best round of the whole battle. She got through the whole second. Fire. Second was fire. Like, yo, she said a chest will put head through the wall, glory hole. Like, yo, she was wilding. Like, and then Ice came out in the second, had another surprisingly decent round, about as good as the first. Okay, keep it up. Then in third, Shoony came out, couple of good bars, and then she choked. She had to end it. So that's when I was like, all right, this is over. That's unfortunate. Then Ice came out. That was his best round in my opinion. His third was starting out really good. He was strong in the third. Then he started stumbling, losing it for a little bit. He got it back. He got it back eventually. He did get it back, but it was clear Ice won that battle. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. There might have been some people out there who thought Ice would win. The Ice diehards, the Ice blocks, if you will, the cubes, even. You know, I wasn't one of them people. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. He won that battle. He won that battle. Last battle of day one. So the last battle of day one was JC versus Old Red. This battle did not disappoint, especially for two niggas who done battled before. Old Red had a good round. His first round was good. He was coming out real aggressive though. A lot of bumping and physical shit in the first. But I mean, I guess these niggas don't. They're cool with it, so I'm cool with it. It was a really aggressive round though. But all his punches were good. The only complaint I have for Old Red as a battle rapper that I will never get over is how he be begging for reaction sometimes. Like he'll say a punchline, and if the crowd don't react how he expected, he'll start repeating it again. And like y'all didn't hear that? Come on, man, come on, like, bros, everybody not gonna like you. They just not. Keep it going. You got a round to finish, but his first round was good. I really liked his first. JC came out. I thought his first round was pretty good, but I edged the first to Old Red. I really did. I edged the first round to Old Red. Like, JC's first was good, but he didn't really get into his bag or nothing in the first. Came out in the second. I feel like by the second, Old Red lost a little bit of steam in the second, right? That was when he was begging for reactions a little bit more, but that was because some of his bars were going over people's heads in the second. But I do think his second was good. But this is where JC finally came alive. He woke up in the second because his second was a very dense, bar heavy round. Like his second was crazy if you understood what he was saying. His second was really, really good. I gave him the second. The third, I kept having all the tech issues in the third. The third for both of these niggas. It was just the stream all of a sudden got chopped and screwed. Like it was chopped, not slopped all of a sudden. The stream was sipping lean on my end because it was all over the place. I don't know what niggas was doing in the third. Can't speak on it. So I had it 1-1 because I don't know what happened in third. So ultimately, the stream got it back to get itself back together. All the judges agreed that JC won. It is what it is. What I don't I guess I can't speak on the third, but I do feel like Red had a very good shot to win because his first was clear in my opinion. The third I can't speak on. So that was the end of day one. After all the issues, they was like, all right, come back for day two. Cool. Day two opens up. I did not see the first battle, Real Sick versus Stumbles. I wasn't home yet. I was coming back from the studio. But it went about how I expected. I got back just in time for the judges to say Sick won. I mean, that was obvious. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave that alone. Fonz versus Prestavia was the next battle. This was a really good battle. This one was good. So Fonz started it. Fonz is quickly become one of the best punchers. Like Fonz is crazy when he in his bag, bro. Fonz came out in the first. His first round was going crazy. All his bars was hitting. And then he started stumbling. That's when I got annoyed. I was like, come on, bro. You doing this right now. Started stumbling. He ended up losing it. He was just like, all right, y'all, whatever. He let that round go. Stavia came out. She had a really good first round. She was solid. She had the presence. Her bars was there. She was getting the crowd reactions. Her punches was good. Like she had a really good first round. So clearly, Stavia got the first round. Second, Fonz did that pastor gimmick. Fonzel. I was like, I was in Discord while I was watching, talking to my homies in Discord. I was like, yo, if he plays his cards right and he does really strong in this second with this gimmick, he might be able to steal the whole battle. There's a good gimmick like this, and the crowd was into it. This might help propel him. He did very well. His second was probably his best. Then Prestavia tried to rebuttal it. And it was whatever. I would call it a soft rebuttal. It was whatever. She stumbled a bit, but she got it back, and then she had a good round, and she ended up losing it again at the end. So then it was 1-1 because they both stumbled their rounds apart. So now it's 1-1. So now it's going to come down to the third. In the third, Fonz was snapping in the third, snapping. Especially that dating site scheme he had, ridiculous, bro. Like ridiculous. Like it was just a great way to end the battle. Cause like he saved a lot of good shit for the third, which you got to end strong in battle rap. He did great. But Stavia, she had a litany of punches, bro. Like punch to punch to punch. Like her third was just punches. It was a great third. But I exited the Fonz. I had the Fonz 2-1 personally. And then the judges, all judges agreed as well. Fonz won that one. Whew. Next was Gichigadi versus Truthful. This battle was a big deal because Gichigadi, as we know, he won last Ultimate Madness, well, split it with Romney. And Gichi, one of the scariest niggas in the league, like the face of URL right now. Like niggas just don't want to battle him. Like, and I get it. So he like the top nigga. So for Truthful to have him in the first round was an uphill battle. Truthful, he's the War Dog champ over there in Midnight Madness. So this was actually for the title as well. So it was a round one battle in but it was also a Midnight Madness title fight at the same time. There was a lot going on. Truthful came out in the first, had a really good first round. Really good first round. I was really enjoying his punches. Like he was rapping in that first. Gichigadi came out, and he had a good round. And I said I feel like the first was pretty even. The first could have went either way, right? Truthful came out in the second, and it was like he took what was good in the first and then just turned that shit up. The second was really good. Second was really really good, and I was like, all right, this nigga doing something right now. He doing something right now. I was like, well, once I saw his second, I was like, he really got the potential to win this battle. Because, like, again, beating Gichi is going to come down to being really good and also the niggas getting over their Gichi bias. Because niggas are going to have Gichi bias at this point because he's been winning for so long now. Niggas are going to have Gichi bias. So, Gichi went out. His second was about how, like, he really be putting on for Truthful because he got his own league. Like I be making money with Truthful. Like Truthful, he be battling for me and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Just talking about Truthful's career, but then he finally started getting into the bars in the second half. And I was like, all right, okay, now we getting somewhere. Now we getting something, some winning material type shit. Like we win with this part. The second half of his second was really good too, but I kind of feel like I lean towards Truthful now. In the third, Truthful was snapping. He was snapping. I was like, yo, this nigga really want to win this shit. He really had the chance to win it all if he didn't start stumbling. He started stumbling and shit, stumbled his way through to his third. And I was like, all right, Gichi don't really stumble. Gichi don't have slip ups. Like Gichi's always polished. And that Gichi came in there and he cleaned that shit up. Gichi's third was his best round. He had a good rebuttals. Like he had a great rebuttal for that 55th Street line. That was good. Like it was like I feel like his best third was his best round in my opinion. I feel like he cleaned it up. But they went to the judges, and the judges actually gave it to Truthful, which I didn't expect to happen, but I wasn't mad at. I feel like that one could have went either way. That one was really hard to call out of everything. That was the hardest one to call, like the hardest one to call. And I was happy for Truthful because he did great. He had 2 3/4 good rounds. Like Truthful did great. So I think I think also now that Geechee's out, the tournament's wide open. Well, unless you're Romney, tournament's wide open. Like niggas expected Geechee to win it all over again. So shout out to Truthful. He did great. He did great, yo. Next was Real Name Brandon versus Rum Nitty. This was supposed to be Real Name Brandon versus Twerk, but Twerk got locked up. So they have Rum Nitty to step in. And this was a 1-rounder. I do not remember this being advertised as a 1-rounder. But then again, they only had a week to prepare. So I guess, all right, whatever. Then they also made him still stick to the 2-minute 30-second time limit rule for a 1-rounder. I feel like that was weird. That was unnecessary. Like they only got 1 round. Don't shorten the shit too. So I ain't got a lot to say about this one. Roland Brandon, he's good, but Rum Nitty was great. This was clear. Like it was clear. Like that nigga Rum Nitty is different. He is different, bro. Like when he said like switchblade like Duncan Penderhughes, dog, it was over. Rum won that. Last battle for day 2. Last battle for round 1. Shotgun Suge versus Swamp. Shotgun Suge, a nigga I've been very critical of, but I do enjoy his music. We'll listen to his project over here on our channel. Don't forget to check it out. It was dope. His music is good. Swamp, a nigga we're also very critical of because I feel like Swamp is good every other battle. Like Swamp pick and choose when he want to do good. And he chose a good day to be good because I feel like this is also a very good Suge. This was a good Suge. Suge came out. He had his first was pretty decent. He was stumbling through the first. Like they started off stumbling, like trying to get himself back together. It wasn't no hard stumbles. Like he had to pause, but he was repeating himself a good bit, and like he was starting above himself a little bit in the first. I was like, all right, the bars wasn't bad. It was just the performance was lacking in the first. Swamp started out just as rough as that nigga. Look, he worse. Like his whole start, he had to pause, get himself back together. Like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all, hold up, just to start rapping. Then once he started though, it was good. This was a good Swamp. I'd say overall his first round was pretty good. Then in the second, Suge was much better. Suge can have no more stumbling issues for the rest of his battle. But honestly, he was good after the first. He got himself back on track. Came out in the second, much better than his first, and his punches were good in the second too. Swamp, and the Swamp was more of the first. Swamp had 3 consistently good rounds. 3 consistently good rounds. Like I have nothing bad to say about in his rounds. Suge's best round though, I feel like was his third. His third was a good round. That was a good round. How did I call this one? I've called it. I had Swamp. I had Swamp winning this, and I was cool with a 2-1 Swamp. The judges also agreed to Swamp won, even though again that was a good Suge. I have nothing bad to say about Suge performing. That was a good Suge, but Swamp won. So that was round 1 of UM. Now we're gonna talk about what's coming up next, right? So because I'm looking at the bracket right now, I got pulled up on my computer. The next matchups for round 2, which is gonna be in 2 weeks, we got Truthful versus Sheed Happens, the rematch. Because they already battled before in the last they was in, and that was a great battle. That was a really good battle. I don't know which way to go. Again, I like Sheed Happens. I like his style. I'm all for something different. He's got to bring it because Truthful ain't nothing to be played with, as we saw. Because if he took out Geechee, that nigga different. Like Geechee was slated to win everything. Like, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Then we got JC versus Head Ice. We also got Real Sick versus Fonz. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. I don't know which way to call it in that one. Yeah, that I don't know. Those are two really good niggas. We got Swamp and Nitty. I got Nitty. I got Nitty. Right now, that like the talk on Twitter is like this is pretty much Nitty's tournament to lose. Like everybody think Nitty got this wrapped up, and they like people are because people love JC. People are expecting it to be JC Nitty in the finals, which would also be good. I'm down for that too. I'm down for that. So I don't know. I don't know which way it's gonna go, but I do know I'm gonna be stuck watching it. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. But that was round 1. I'm back for round 2 when they do that in 2 weeks on June 4th. They said June. That's gonna be June 4th. They said that's when it's gonna be out. So we're gonna be back at it right here. Until then, we'll probably have another episode out next week. I don't know what we're doing yet. Tweet me something or send me something on Discord, IG, something. A good battle. Well, it might be what we do. Who knows? Also, send me more battle rapper music. We need more battle rap music projects to review because we really enjoy doing that. We love enjoying their music and shining light on their art that they really put their time and energy into. And I know nobody else does it. So yeah, that's how we do it here. You want to talk to me, a real one? Like I said, tweet at me, but you might not know how to find me. At Now Bloodbath on all my socials, right? At Now Bloodbath. Talk to me, I'll talk back. And that's going to end it this week, y'all. Like I said, I'm concise. So remember, tell a friend, tell a bitch to tell a hoe. Remember, the South going to hold it down.